Hello, I'm FPX, and welcome back to the Minecraft update news videos. They have some very good news to share with you all because we have a brand new Minecraft Bedrock beta. It's called 1.11.0.3, but the long story short is that it includes a bunch of new village and pillage features in terms of the 1.11 and 1.14 updates. So we get to see a bunch of features we haven't yet seen on Java, and we get to see some features we weren't even expecting to see anywhere in the Java or Bedrock versions, but I think they're really cool because they've given huge buffs to two features that were otherwise pretty useless before this, and that's the sort of thing that gets me excited. So we've got two amazing features I'm most excited for, and then a lot of other features you probably care a lot more about, which we'll be diving through in today's video, which I hope you all do enjoy. So also we have some big revelations we learned about Minecraft this week. Lots of stuff we'll be diving right into, starting right now. So yeah, beta 1.11.0.3 is out, and the biggest thing about this, especially if you have a Windows 10 device, is this now works on Windows 10 without having to install developer mode. Previously, you had to enable developer mode, which a lot of people didn't know until like halfway through the week. So basically, the the last beta was unplayable for one of the major platforms Minecraft is on, but now this beta will work on every Minecraft platform for 99% of players, which is good news, I would say. And yeah, that's why it's kind of exciting that we can dive straight into the fact that, yeah, we're going to be kind of mixing a little bit of last snapshot on this snapshot, because as we all knew, the villager outposts have been added quite some time ago, but now they've been fully fleshed out in terms of the behaviors of the way, in terms of the pillagers and how they'll work. That's all sorted out. Also, in terms of the pillager banner, that has now been entirely confirmed. They said this is going to be the final, Illager banner, design artwork, which means that, yeah, there is something called an Illager banner. Interestingly enough to me, the reason we hopped into creative is because if you look through the banners, it actually counts as its own separate item in the creative menu. So maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't, but I found that to be rather interesting myself, and the behaviors of how they're going to work is mostly sorted too. Speaking of that, by the way, if you kill the pillager captain, who will often spawn in these, in fact always spawns one of these, you'll get yourself one of two brand new effects, which also comes in this update. So both these effects were added last week, but they've been improved and properly added this week because we have two brand new effects. There is the bad omen effect, which will obviously, we know from Java Edition, will activate the pillager raid, just like that. It makes a big loud, bell dong off, and it means that, bad things are about to happen, or good things if you want to get the, the eventual rewards that will come alongside that, or if you just want to kill a bunch of pillagers, that's how you'll do it. Kill the guard captain, come to a village, and you'll start the big event, which now also, by the way, if we just quickly go through our things, which now also has its own, boss bar. So it's a little bit tricky to see because the Minecraft beta text is up there, and that's not removable, but you can see behind that, it says there is a raid happening. However, this is a temporary UI. It's designed to look like the weather. They just use the one they have available. There's going to be a separate boss bar, a separate boss UI. It's just something they're working on, but for now, villager raids properly exist in Minecraft Bedrock. They're visible on screen, at least most of the time. Again, it just vanished, it seems, and it took a while to appear. There we go, it's back, but then it's going away. So yeah, this means that it's exactly like the Java raids, which if you don't know, whenever you kill a pillager, you bring down the raid total because a certain number of pillagers spawn, and they all represent together the total of the health. So in this case, I believe that means there's 4 pillagers. We've killed 2 and 1 killed itself. And once we kill the last one, the pillager raid will be finished. Although we got to find him. Although an interesting change they made in this update also is they've improved the pathfinding of the pillagers, so they actually can tend to find villagers rather than just stumbling around aimlessly, which happens a lot of the time. Oh, I reckon it was the iron golem that killed one of them, by the way. Okay, here's the last pillager. Once we kill him, you're gonna hear that ding sound goes off again, and that's to both indicate your round is over and that there's a new round coming in this particular case, which there actually is. So the bad omen effect is a brand new effect you get when killing pillager captains, and there's a second brand new effect which doesn't have a direct use because obviously the bad omen effect will give you the villager raids, but there's also a second rather interesting feature called the villager hero effect. So this village hero effect, as you can see on the far right of the screen there, is it's got a new changed icon. It's now an emerald with like 2 arrows going left and right. Previously it was a villager with an emerald next to it, so it's clearly going to be something to do with trading with villagers, maybe, we assume, based on the emerald, but currently it doesn't have any power. The effect just exists. There's no way to get it in survival Minecraft. You have to use this command right here for whatever effect you want it to be, and it's just a really interesting kind of odd thing, at least in my opinion, that there is a brand new effect, but it doesn't quite do anything yet. It's a big mystery as to what it will do, but they're clearly planning something, or they wouldn't have added this in this stage in the main version of the game. So yeah, super bizarre. Villager hero effect, I'd like to hear your speculations down below, because my best guess, I would say, is that it can unlock like better trades in villagers, maybe, like, they currently all go up to 3 or 4 or 5. Maybe you can unlock legendary tiers that would do something else, but you can only trade them after you've saved their village. So you have to save the village, then you have, a minute or 2 minutes to trade these amazing things. Again, I'm just trying to, imagine how they can make villagers more useful. It could be something else entirely. They could remove it because, of course, this is a beta, but I find it bizarre that they haven't, kind of hinted anything about what it is, so it's open to interpretation. But what isn't open to interpretation is the brand new way that cats and villagers work together. So yeah, if you don't know, cats spawn in villagers as of Minecraft, well, it's Pillage, it's 1.9 for Minecraft Bedrock, but in the same update, 1.14 for Java, we're going to have cats spawn in villagers. And the interesting thing about cats spawning in villagers is it's like, oh, so now ocelots are separate and that's the whole thing. And previously they just used to spawn randomly by themselves, but now the number of cats a village can have is capped at 10. There are 10 cats max per village, and the number of cats you'll actually find is related to the number of villages you have. So it's actually indirect because there's one villager for every bed you'll find. So here's a bed, I'll find a villager somewhere around it, and for every 4 beds you have, you can have 1 cat. So it's a 4-to-1 ratio of villagers to cats, which I find offensive because we know in the real world there's a bunch of villages with more cats than people. You know, the cat islands in Japan, they're well-known things, so a little bit not accurate right there. But more seriously, it's kind of cool that like you can now spawn cats basically by making beds. When you grow a village, you not only get more villagers, more iron golems, more trades, more stuff like that, but you also get more cats, which is adorable. Speaking of cats, by the way, this cat actually managed to spawn inside the composter, which I think is funny. We'll come back to it later. Like I just think it's the weirdest thing. Like, you know, cats are organic material, so why is he not composting? It would make sense, is all I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, let's move on to the next features, because they've also taken a whole bunch of features out of experimental gameplay. So again, if you're not a Bedrock guy, you're confused as what that means. Basically, there's 2 types of betas. There's like a beta that you download because you enroll into it if you're on Windows 10, Android, or Xbox. And then within the beta, there's like a second secret beta option where you can see the most experimental of gameplay. They've removed all the features from that. So stuff like berries, stuff like the new villagers are found in 1.11 by default, which is good news. Again, 1.10 will come out and there'll be an experimental gameplay. It's a weird, kind of strange thing, but they're finally going to be hitting the main game in this update. So as you can see, my world is not named, oh wait, over here, if you look on the right, it's just called blank seed, although again, the text is overrunning it. You know, the beta text is a little bit annoying. It'd be cool to have a toggle or like a downsize for it. But yeah, I'm just on a seed that's not experimental, which is kind of cool because that works like that. Also, it's worth mentioning, just while we're here, that there is also some brand new villager patrols that will happen. So villager patrols are obviously a feature from Java Edition, but they came over to here in Bedrock. And interesting enough, it means that we have something brand new in the command section called /mob events. So if you are playing in creative or with cheats enabled, you can now decide to turn off pillager patrol events, or you can turn off the wandering trader events if you want to. They're both rare events that can happen randomly while going around any, you know, supported biome in the case of pillager patrols, and just anywhere in the case of the wandering trader. If you want to turn those things off entirely, you can just do so. So /mob event, and then if you want to, you can just turn off all events if you want. Like, you know, I hate these rare events, and we're going to turn them off entirely. So yeah, the interesting thing about this is they have a whole setting enabled for something there's only 2 of right now. In my head, at least, that means they're planning to eventually add some more mob events, which I think is cool. I think one of the best bits about 1.14 is that they're adding so many of these brand new little features in there, and yeah, I think that's great personally. But you know what's greater than that? It's the other slightly smaller features they've added this update. So they've updated the Wandering Trader to kind of match how it should be a bit better. So the Wandering Trading llamas are now basically nerfed compared to regular llamas. They won't spawn as babies, they won't be tameable, they won't, they'll attack people who are hostile to their owners. It's basic stuff. Wandering Trader's been updated to make it a bit more, you know, like actually like he's a rogue agent, unlike just like a dude who will be friendly to you. So interesting little change they made right there. And then the last 2 features in this update are the ones I'm most excited about. Honestly, this whole video has just been me waiting to get to this stage, because they're 2 features that I think a lot of people won't care about or won't mind too much, but I find to be massively interesting. So the first one here is, we'll go to my little island just for this very specific thing. The first one here is the fact that now hoppers will work with composters. A lot of people felt like composters were useless before, so this is kind of the, you know, the response to that. Now you can actually throw your, you know, any excess stuff into a hopper, which can then go straight into the composter, which as you can see, every layer it goes in, it'll do its stuff, and then we'll end up on the other side with some bone meal as a result. So yeah, you can now compost stuff by default. Automatically using this stuff. I think that's amazing personally. I think that's a cool feature, and I think it's a great way to just like make a bin that just turns all of your excess garbage that you don't really need right now into some compost. So I have way too much bamboo, for instance. I have, you know, absurd amount of sugarcane and an absurd amount of wheat, or will have an absurd amount of wheat eventually. And if I just want to get rid of it, because I have too much right now, which I don't imagine I will, because I grew those things for a reason, but I can throw them in here and get some bone meal. So yeah, that's really, really handy. Obviously, also, of course, you can take your bone meal, turn it into white dye, so you got like 2 uses from that. And I just love this as a thing, because it's such a simple contraption. Anyone can make it, and now it means the composter, like, you know, like can be used in some weird, wacky redstone contraptions, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out, which is a thing we'll see in the last of this update. So yeah, I love this feature because they've taken a otherwise useless feature, given it some uses, and I love, oh, look, by the way, there's the pillager captain. Just up there, somehow he spawned on top of the roof, but can we just just, you know, ADD Toy Cat mode. Just real quick, you know, I mentioned how you get the bad omen effect. It's by killing one of these guys, the guys that spawn with the banners. So, yeah, there you go. Fun fact. And then he'll drop his banner, and just like that, you've got one. So yeah, that's wonderful. That's nice. That's rare. You can see in the, if you look in the top right, the bad omen effect also has a new icon. It looks super, again, I love the artwork on this, I should mention. But yeah, if we take this to the village, just to show you the previous feature again, because that's what we need in Minecraft videos, more repetition. We go to the village, you'll see how once we hit the village, the effect is gonna, there we go, it's gonna trigger, and another raid is gonna trigger, which could include, by the way, the Ravager being ridden by Pillagers. That's a thing that happens. Anyway, we're not here for that, although that is kind of fun. What we are here for, though, is to go back to the composters. So that's really cool. I love features like this just because they expand your creativity. They allow otherwise, you know, useless features in some cases to be more useful. And I thought the composter was good before. Now I think that it's automatic. There's going to be some real fun, bizarre things that you're not going to see coming, but they're gonna shock you. And I look forward to playing around with it after 1.11/1.14 does release. Next up here, this is the big one. It's the big boy feature we've all been waiting for. They've finally given a use to splash potions of water. So if you don't know, you can brew water bottles and you can brew them to be splash water bottles. What do splash water bottles do? To this point, nothing. They won't even put out fires. They won't even, like, the most basic of stuff. They won't clear potion effects. They don't allow you to make water anywhere. They just give you this empty black effect. It's very sad. It's very tragic. But now, as of Minecraft 1.11 and hopefully 1.14 too, what you can do is you can use them to put out campfires. It's a little tricky, but there you go. You can see we've just done it. That is really, really quite something. It is actually interesting because, again, the way this mechanic works, whether intentionally or not, means that you can't actually put out campfires by placing it on the campfire themselves. If I throw all these at the things, you'll see how none of these campfires are going out. Because if you want to put out a campfire, what you have to do is you have to place it on the block next to the campfire. So, yeah, you have to, like, fully hit, like, just over there, and you can see that's how we do it. It's a little bit bizarre, it's a little bit glitchy, but it means, again, so here's a edge case scenario use for this. I don't know why you'd want to, or if you'd really want to, but here's a wacky thing that you can totally do. If we have, say, a campfire that's underwater, we can now fire our potion through the water. It's going to go through there and then hit the campfire and put it out. What use does that have? I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's going to have, like, super weird edge case ramifications because throwing water bottles through water is just fun. And yeah, this is a really interesting new feature, in my opinion. I love it personally. Maybe you don't. Maybe you disagree with that prognosis. But I love the edge case stuff that allows you to make the weirder things on the margin. A lot of people have the impression in Minecraft that it's all about making the same stuff over and over again. Like, oh, you know, like Toy Cat, don't you know the goal in Minecraft is to make an iron farm and then make the exact same iron farm every world you go into and then you've finished it? And it's like, no, like, making the same stuff isn't interesting. Like, when things change, things get nerfed, things get buffed, I think that's a good thing. I think complaining about, like, you know, like, for instance, my gold farm was nerfed, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, sure. You know, if the thing has changed, now we need something else. I think these are interesting changes to Minecraft, and in the case of this, it's just purely positive, right? No one's complaining that, like, oh, no, I want splash water buttons to suck again. I don't think anyone's complaining about that. I like the composters better, the fire's better, and just in general, I'm hyped about that. So, before we go here, while I show you something interesting, which is the fact that you can walk on campfires, and I feel like at some point, someone's going to use this for some weird purposes, because think about it, right? If you play as the mini ghast, and then you're pretty grey already, right? You can hide inside the smoke, and then no one knows where to fire arrows at you. There's going to be some technique at some point that involves this. I don't know where, I don't know when, but to me this seems pretty cool, like just hiding in fire as you go. But anyway, yeah, let me talk about the last couple of things, because unrelated to this beta, which is a huge big beta with a lot of big features. I like that they're going for a lot these days, it seems, which is a good sign. But let me talk about the fact that we had a couple of big revelations this week, and I thought they were pretty funny, because Jasper, who is the artist for Minecraft, he's quite outspoken about a lot of things, so that's a thing you should keep in mind. But what he also speaks about is some of the inspiration behind Minecraft designs, and he actually confirmed that the villager designs for the jungle and swamp biomes were inspired by watching fashion shows such as Gucci. So yeah, fun fact, the Minecraft villagers from those biomes are from Gucci. And then the other crazy thing is that Dinnerbone confirmed, while looking through the code, that the Minecraft world actually, so the camera view of Minecraft is actually rendered at your feet. So if we go back to a regular skin rather than being a floating ghast, but the Minecraft, you know, camera is based on your feet. Okay, well, let's go to Alex, apparently. The Minecraft character is based on your feet, but then the rest of the world is rendered 1.8 blocks down, and then it just doesn't make a difference. But yeah, basically, instead of Minecraft rendering you from your eyes, it renders you from the feet, but then renders the rest of the world a little bit down. We thought that was a joke, but he confirmed it really was real. So yeah, two bizarre features in this update are the water bottle finally having a use, and the composter finally, you know, being automatic. And the two bizarre revelations about Minecraft are the fact that apparently the Minecraft villager designs come from fashion shows, and also that apparently Minecraft's world renders 1.8 blocks too low, but I mean, your camera renders 1.8 blocks too low, and therefore the Minecraft world does it too. Also, apparently, again, the way Minecraft beds work when you go to sleep is you go to sleep by moving the world around you. It's not you that moves when you go to sleep, it's the rest of the world, which is super bizarre, or at least that's the claim from Dinnerbone. It could be a high-level troll, but I thought it was pretty fascinating because game design is all about like bodging and quirky stuff sometimes, and to see that like kind of confirmed is interesting. Anyway, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope you're looking forward to using these splash water bottles in 1.14, because I know I am, and yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this early morning update video, because I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. I think this guy's gonna die, by the way. Oh.